you,
Yes.
Dr. Basalira. A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to join Dr. Basalira to welcome you to this session and also to appreciate the work that you're doing in your different spaces. If you're running a business, we'd like to thank you for making a contribution to Uganda's economy because it means you are generating income, you're perhaps giving someone a job, you're paying taxes. And that's what we need to have this country grow, change. I just want to remind all of us that Uganda is one of those countries with a very high entrepreneurial activity, where we have at least 30% of the population starting a business, according to the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor studies and even other studies that track entrepreneurship and economic growth. And because of that, in Uganda, we don't lack businesses. As you move along the main roads, even when you go deep inside the countryside, you find people running a business. Somebody's running a shop, somebody has a farm, somebody has a side hustle. And it's a good thing, but we have a survival problem because most of the time when we start a business, we want to pay rent, we want to pay fees, we want to survive the month. But I want to say that survival is a tiring strategy. And that's why many of our businesses may not make it beyond the third year. And so the question is, why do we wake up to do what we are doing? We have to think about it. Today, we want to be much more deliberate. Why do we do what we are doing? Have we thought about why we have started that business? Is it just because we want to pay rent? We want to meet needs of the family? What is it that drives us to start a business? And this is something that we want to be thinking about because purpose is the only thing that separates a business from a hustle. And so, because a hustle is just for today, while when we think about a purposeful business, you're thinking about way beyond today. You're thinking about the future of your family. You're thinking about this country. You're thinking in big terms. And this means that we want to be working with a specific intent, and therefore understanding our purpose is important because that makes us unstoppable. This morning, we are honored to host Mr. David Elungat, and we want to thank you very much, David, for accepting to come and share with us on this very important topic. David is a founder and executive director of Voice for Humanity, Uganda. It's a local non-profit organization serving refugees in Uganda for the last 11 years. And would like to learn from you, David. How do we begin to think about purpose? And how is that going to enable us succeed in our businesses? You're welcome. You have 40 minutes to make your presentation, and then we shall have a question and answer session thereafter. Over to you, David.
Thank you so much, Dr. Diana. Thank you, Dr. Edith. And a very good morning to everyone. Thank you for always inviting me to speak in this platform to very successful entrepreneurs, some of whom are into the journey, others are into the ideation level, others are in the middle stage, others are extremely successful. But as they say, learning never stops. And so it is an honor to be here and be able to just, as you say, Dr. Diana, that unless you understand your purpose, it might be difficult to hold your business or even to sustain it beyond the first anniversary. Indeed, as you said rightly, Dr. Diana, that Uganda is considered one of those extremely entrepreneurial countries. Thousands of businesses, thousands of ideas start, but unfortunately, they never celebrate their first birthday. And the question goes spinning, why? Why don't businesses go beyond their first birthday? Why don't the ideas that many thousands and millions of Ugandans have, including those that are in this platform this morning, why don't they go beyond the first birthday? And I speak this passionately because it's a lived experience with my own organization. We haven't arrived, we're still struggling, but I have never quit. I want to request Josh, if you could just display the presentation. I just have about 5 slides that I would like to share. Josh, if you can just be able to project the presentation that I shared with Dr. Edith. Josh? So, as I said, it's very important that we understand why our businesses, often business ideas, die within their very first birthday, or never even reach the 6th month. And understanding your life purpose is the key, is the cornerstone for any success in any area of your life. It doesn't matter what kind of business you are dealing in, what kind of idea you have, what kind of dream you have, unless it is driven by your purpose, then you may not be able to see the success of that idea. So this morning, this is a topic that I would like to just unlock over the next few minutes. And as I've just put in here, that your purpose in life is to find your purpose and give your whole heart and soul to it. So once you find your purpose, who are you? Why are you here? Where are you headed? Unless you find that sense of direction and give it everything that you have, that all of your heart and energy, every successful individual has put in everything they have to make sure they are where they are. Next, Josh. So I just have a few quotes here that I think would trigger us. And as I say, finding your purpose is about turning your passion into a contribution. Dr. Diana rightly put it that, it's not about meeting our daily needs. Many a times people start businesses, enterprises to be able to meet their daily needs. That's true. That's okay. The ultimate goal is that you're able to meet your needs and the needs of your family. But ultimately, that it is beyond just meeting the needs. It's about making a contribution. So when you find your purpose, it helps you to turn your passion. It's about passion eventually. Turn your passion into making a contribution, where you shift from merely existing to living with intention. Every day of your life is directed towards a certain direction, that no matter how many distractions you have, what sort of things that come your way, you remain focused. The challenge with many entrepreneurs, many of us, is that we start enterprises with the idea of making money. So once your first goal for whatever you are doing is to make money, in the first 3 months, you see no money is coming. 6 months, no money is coming. 7 months, no money is coming. 1 year, 2 years, it is very easy to give. A person who is purpose-driven looks beyond money because they are driven by community challenges. If you look at all the all the successful people, the rich people in this world that we know about, they innovated ideas that were just beyond money, but they looked at community problems. And that's why I say that create solutions to community challenges, to community problems, and money chases you. Money will follow you. You don't need to look for money. So I do not know what you are doing. I do not know what idea you have, but I want to challenge you this morning that if the ultimate goal for starting or even thinking about that idea is to make quick fix cash, then unfortunately, I'll have bad news for you that maybe you may falter along the road and maybe drop out of that idea. But if it is to make a contribution to solve a certain problem that you have seen in the community, whether it is technological, whether it is just a basic need in the community, people have started ideas. I work in the nonprofit world, and it amazes me to read reports of thousands of individuals who start nonprofits with a lot of vigor. And nowadays I receive lots of calls and say, Brother David, help me. I want to start an NGO. I hear there's a lot of money in the NGO world. And I say, brother, stop. Sister, stop. Don't even take another step, because if that is your motivation, then unfortunately, it is likely to fail. And not just likely, it is going to fail. But if the motivation is to see change and transformation in the community, then yes, go in. So whatever you are doing, one key is to know that you are solving a particular community problem. And once you are focused towards solving a community problem, then that drives you every day, as Dr. Diana said, to wake up. What is that drives you? It's your passion, it's your dream, it's your purpose. It's that makes you sit for 6, 7, 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. It's the drive, it is the passion. I like what Mark Twain said, that the 2 most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you discover your purpose. Why? Because the day you are born is the day God launched you into this world to accomplish a specific goal. And the day you discover that goal, unfortunately, many individuals just live for the sake of living. We live for the sake of living, and we start whatever we start for the sake of just starting and say, you know, I have no job, I finished university, and right now I have nothing to do. Maybe I start a business rather than sitting. If that is the mindset in which you are going to start an enterprise, it's unfortunate, because it is not driven by your purpose. It's not driven by your goal. It's not driven by your dream. It's not driven by your passion. Bishop T.D. Jakes said, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. Passion is your ultimate destiny, because it is the passion that is actually an indication of your purpose, what you're passionate about. You've seen people, I have a young brother in the village. He can repair anything electronic. But I can tell you he's never gone to any engineering school to study electronics, whether it is a certificate, bachelor's or diploma. He's never gone to any class, but he does this with passion. And when you come with a radio, when you come with a phone, when you come with a TV, he's so passionate. He welcomes you with his big smile. And when you ask him, how much will you repair this? He says, don't worry. I first want to fix your TV. I want to fix your radio. That is passion driving him. And every day is into learning learning and learning and learning, because it's about passion of keeping, because you want to keep on improving your passion and make it better and better. When you start a business or an enterprise with passion, you are constantly driven to learn because you want to become better. Oprah Winfrey said, when your life is on course with its purpose, you are the most powerful. Indeed, friends, you need to look into the life of the most successful people that we know in this world. Whether locally, you hear the entrepreneurs who have made it in life, interact with them. Everything they do it with passion, because they know exactly that this is who I am. This is why I was born and placed in this world. So when you start with that, you are ultimately unstoppable. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Indeed, Napoleon Hill puts it in his book. And once you find your why, you will be able to find your way. That is John Maxwell. Once you find your why am I here on earth? We will be talking about how do I discover my purpose, because ultimately that's spinning in your mind. How do I discover my purpose? So once you find your why, you will be able to find your way. In other words, you are ultimately unstoppable once you find why you are doing what you are doing, why you exist, why you pursue that goal, why you are doing that business, why you must wake up every morning. Even when challenges come, there will always be a way. Because why? You are driven by passion. Friends, I could go on and on with this very inspiring quotes from people who have seen it, who have read, who have experienced it, and to sustain, as Dr. Diana just put it, to sustain Voice for Humanity for the last 11 years. It hasn't been easy. You go 2-3 years without a grant, but you must pay office rent. You must pay your volunteers in the office. Remember, this is not a for-profit where you make profit. It's a non-profit. And to keep in there, in those moments, only requires you to know why exactly you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, it becomes easy to give an excuse and say, you know what, there is no funding. I need to quit. You know, I like what Emerson put it, that the purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. You know, once you discover your purpose, you live just beyond you. You begin to live for the community, for those around you. You begin to focus on what makes a difference in the life of those around you. Of course, begins with your family, friends, neighbors, and the entire community. Successful people are those that have made a difference in this world. If you must be successful in everything that you do, whether your business, then you must be able to look beyond just your happiness, beyond just meeting your needs, as Dr. Diana put it, as beyond just looking at meeting everyday need, to look at the needs of the entire community. That's why purpose looks at what are those challenges in the community that I must address. You actually get hungry. You get angry at whatever is happening in the community, and you want to make a difference. You want to make a contribution. It's not just about you. When you are living in a community and there is basic needs that are lacking, there is no soap, there is no shop around that is operating a grocery shop, you are motivated to start a grocery shop. Why? Because you want to make sure people have access to those groceries within their community. So it's not just about you starting to make your money. So, friends, with these quotes, I hope that we begin to think, okay, why did I start? If you have started, or if you're already running, why did I start this? What is the motivation behind? Am I really passionate? It's amazing. Sometimes we just start and say, I don't even know what I want to do. Or I start a grocery shop. You hear people say, I think, but maybe let me just start this. Oh man, you do not have the drive within you, because this has to come from internal, from you. It's in you blood. It's in you. So every successful individual must be able to discover their why, their purpose, their reason of existence. Next slide, Josh. Josh, next slide. So the question is, how do I discover my purpose in life? You're saying, David, how do I discover my purpose? I want to borrow this from Dr. Monroe, and he was talking about the 5 key questions to discovering your purpose in life. And these questions, unfortunately, many average people do not answer these questions. And unless you answer these 5 key questions, and these are the questions I want to challenge you this morning. Once you answer these 5 key questions, then you know who you are and where you are heading and why you are doing what you're doing. Number 1, who am I? People are struggling with the question of identity. Who am I? Who am I? It's a huge question. It's a question of identity. I guess it's the reason we have people changing, including their, I don't know if I should call it sex identity or gender identity, as many identify of him or her. I don't know this. It's a question of your identity. Who am I? And people are struggling to find an answer to this question. If you must have an answer to this question, then you know that you're on the right track. I want to answer this question from a very biblical perspective. And I know that for those who believe in the Quran also have probably this. But in Genesis, it talks about the creation, and finally created man in his own image and likeness. That's so powerful for you to know that I am God's creation. I am God's creation. God has created me and blessed me here. And so there must be something that makes me exist, because God cannot just put me. I like it when the scripture says, for I knew you even before you were formed in your mother's womb. So when you struggle with the question of identity, with who am I, that makes it difficult for you even to focus your life, because then you don't even know who you are actually. Confusion crops in. So I pray that this morning you are able to answer this question of knowing who you are. And for those who are Christians, like I just said, it's very plain in the scripture. God created you in his own image and likeness. You are God's creation. And once you understand that you are God's creation, then you know that you are not here simply to exist. You're not here to simply pass by, to meet rent, fees, as Dr. Diana said it, to meet your fees, school fees, to meet the needs of your family. You're not here simply to just live and go by and count days, and days are gone, and the month, and celebrate birthdays. Nowadays, it's a huge thing, celebrating birthdays, but you know exactly who you are. even as you celebrate these birthdays, 20, 30 years, and you haven't discovered who you are, your passion, your purpose, your identity, who you are. Second question, where am I from? Where is the source? Unless you understand that you are uniquely created by God for a purpose. You know, when I read Psalms again, forgive me for just being able to use the scriptures in the Bible, but I'm sure that my Muslim friends who are tuned in this morning are able to relate to these scriptures from the Quran perspective. I wish I knew some of the scriptures in the Quran and I could be able to quote them as well. But allow me quote from Psalms 139 and verses 14. It says, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made in God's image. But more importantly, that God who created you has a purpose for you. So where is your source? Where am I from? I am from the one, the maker, the one who is above. And so he's placed me here. I am not from my clan. You know, sometimes we identify with family and say, you know, in our family, you know, in our clan, we have never seen anybody go beyond earn even 1 million. We have never seen anybody break through in life. You know, in our family, from our great-great-grandparent, you know, poverty has been something that has defined us. You don't need to ask if we are poor. Just come to our home and you will see everything. You come to our clan and see everything. Whatever you see only tells you how much far we have come with this poverty history. Nowhere. That's not where you're from. You are from the maker. Your source is from the one above, the one who placed you here on earth. And he blessed you here for a purpose. Who am I? You, God's creation, created in his own, wonderfully made in his own image and likeness. Where am I from? Because you are from him, that means he has a purpose for you. I want to put it this way, that unless you understand, for you to maximize the use of any item, you must understand who made it. Today we are asking about Samsung, iPhones, and all of these gadgets that we are asking and proud about. Why? Because the one who made it is confident that, you know what, whatever I have made is perfect, is good, is of quality, and they tag a price. So unless you understand that you're from the one who is above, the most high, and therefore he has placed you on earth, not just to live, but to fulfill a purpose. So that turns your head spinning and saying, God, thank you that I'm here. Thank you that you have blessed me here. Thank you because you brought me into this world to fulfill a particular purpose. And the purpose is not just mine, but to solve global issues, to solve issues in my community. Then that turns into passion. You begin to do things with everything that you have. The third question, why am I here? It's a question of purpose. Why am I here? Once you understand who you are, who am I? Where am I from? Then why am I here? Why am I here? That one is ultimately answered in Jeremiah, I think Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you. That means God, actually. And he says to prosper you. Once you understand the question of why you are here, then it begins to drive you every day. People who are driven with an understanding of why they are here know that they have limited time on earth and they do not have time to waste, whether it is on gossip or things that do not build them. They focus everything that they have to fulfill their destiny, to fulfill the reason for which they exist here. Friends, I want to challenge you this morning. Do you know why you're here? Or are you simply posting on your status everything that is negative around? Can you be able to challenge yourself and say, what is it that I can make a contribution? Because I won't tell you, friends, that you have limited time here on earth. Dr. Monroe said the richest part in this world is not in the oil and gold mines. It is in the graveyard. Why? In the graveyard are the ideas, dreams, books, and all these businesses, non-profit organizations that were buried and never implemented. In this room this morning, I know that we have people who have dreams, who have big visions, but I have never put it into action. Why? Because they keep on procrastinating. They do not understand that time is limited. Your existence here is limited. That you, in this time that you have, it's about making a difference in the life of those around you. What can I do? It's a question of potential. Once you understand why you're here, who you are, where you're from, why you are here, then okay, what can I do? It's a question of potential. 90% of humans never exploit their true potential. We sit with a lot of potential. And with the world of social media, our potential is actually exploited in social media. And unfortunately, we are in social media not to market our own ideas and dreams, but to post things. It's interesting when you look at what young people, I know that there are young people who are logged in this room this morning, how much they spend 80% of their time and every coin that they get on social media, and unfortunately not even marketing an idea that they have. That's why Dr. Murray says we are buried. Thousands of wealth, millions of wealth is buried down in the graveyard. Often we allow circumstances, background, society to determine what we can do or not do. You know, our society will tell you as a woman, what can you do? You can't do this. You know, have you ever seen a woman do that? No, but we have seen many women break the barrier and go beyond that. No, you're just from this background. I don't think you can do. This is just, I don't think you have the relevant qualifications. Who told you? The greatest men and women in this world who have made it in life are not those who had PhDs. It's important to have it, but it is people who had passion and drive to make a difference. You can have a PhD, and that's why I'm grateful to Dr. Diana that you can turn the Entrepreneurship Center into a center for sharing ideas and empowering community. That's why we exist. We exist for that, to make a real difference in the community, in the people around us. Where am I going? It's a question of destiny. In the end, what impact do you want to leave? What impact do you want to leave? When all is said and done, what shall we talk? What have you done? What have you left behind? What difference did you make? This must be able to spin you, and once you understand that, it's your driving force every day. Next, Josh, just a few more thoughts before I can close. Just a few more thoughts on discovering your purpose. You know what? What makes you angry, annoyed, is your purpose and destiny. And this morning you're asking, David, what do you mean? Yes. Once you see, because purpose is about innovating ideas and solutions to community problems. It's until you see that there is this problem. For me to go into the refugee setting, it was about seeing thousands of refugees and what they were going through. And I said, I want to go and make a difference. And today we are just running one key program that is integrated, dealing in mental health and providing livelihood support, because that's the greatest need. So what makes you annoyed, angry, is your purpose and destiny. What is it that starts every time you see? I see people complaining about, hear people complaining about, trash caveras and what, our city, our village, our center is filled with trash. What have you done? Exactly, that's your purpose. Once you are annoyed, angry at something, then that must drive you to take action. You know what, friends? Every human was born and exists to solve a problem. There is no one in this world who is just here. As I said, once you know where you are coming from, who you are, who brought you here, and why you are here, then you know that you are here to solve problems in the community. And so every human was born and exists to solve a problem. Ultimately, we are all here to look around us. I say, please don't chase for money. Unfortunately, we started all of these things to chase for money. Look at community issues. Innovate an idea to solve that problem and watch money follow you. You don't need to chase for money. Purpose doesn't work for money. Don't look for money. Solve problems. Money will follow you. Successful entrepreneurs are always inventing things that solve human problems. Today we are on a TikTok, we are on Facebook, we are on all these social media, because if you look back, one time we were sharing the days of yellow pages, for those who can remember, when days of post office, when you had to wait for a letter for the next 2 months before it reaches you and you get information. If you can't get the person to take your message home, even when you're in school, it will be difficult. But today it is just a second. You just type, "Hello, daddy. Hello, mommy. I don't have this," and it reaches you. Your purpose and destiny is your passion, friends. Unless you are able to discover what you're passionate about, then you haven't discovered your purpose. Next, Josh. So why must I discover and understand my purpose? Why do I dwell in this? And you're asking, David, is it even relevant? Is it even worth it? That's my business. I mean, for me, I just want to start a business. Or I'm already running a business. It's successful already. And you're saying, but is this relevant that I must know who I am, my purpose, my destiny? Yes. Why? Because one, it acts as your compass for decision making. Every decision you make in life is always directed by what you treasure, by what you're passionate about. Whether it is spending time with someone or people, you spend time with those that align with you, align with your purpose, align with your vision, align with your destiny. Unfortunately, many times we're in wrong groups, wrong companies. We make decisions because sometimes what we call wrong decisions, because we have not discovered our purpose in life. When young people go into drugs and addiction and all these sort of things, and it's because they haven't discovered their purpose. When you're in that business and you've moved and you are faced with adversity and you feel like quitting and you don't quit, you make a decision to stay in, to keep plugged in. Why? Because you know that this is a reason for which I am here on earth. There is no other option I have apart from keeping on and keeping on and keeping on. Number two, purpose offers resilience during challenges. I told you a personal story that to keep the organization for the last 11 years, working with the refugees in Adjumani. I think the first 3 years, I never got even a coin. I went to Adjumani when I didn't have a laptop. I always tell friends this story who visit my office in Adjumani. I didn't have a laptop. I only had a notebook. And I remember for three good years, millet porridge was actually my evening tea and dinner at the same time. Why? But I kept in there, and many people are saying, why are you here to suffer? I remember somebody one day approached me and said, but David, you say you are the ED of an organization and you don't have money? I said, yes, I'm not here to look for money. I'm here to see what challenges exist here and what I can make as a contribution. When I went to see the RDO refugee desk officer in Adjumani, he asked me, do you have funding? I said, no. Do you have staff? I said, no. Do you have an office? I said, no. He said, but then what? I said, sir, I know what I want to do. He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to address the psychological challenges of refugees. He said, that's a gap. That's exactly the gap that we have. And he offered me an office space and a table and a chair immediately. But if I'd gone to think about the money first, yes, over the years we have won thousands of dollars not because that was the focus in the initial, but it's been what has kept me on the ground, persisting. Even when there is no funding, I am there, and I am positive. I keep on because, man, there is no other option. I do not have an option. I don't have, retreating is not an option for me. And if you are in that business, retreating and, giving up is not an option. You do not have. I remember the speaker for last Thursday said, surrender is not an option. You reach where you say, I do not need to surrender. I will be here. When I finish 6, I will talk to the landlord and say, man, understand me. I am not about to close this office. I am here because I want to make a difference. Understanding your purpose enhances your overall life satisfaction. Today, I sit back and listen to testimonies of women, and I welcome you, friends. Reach out to me. In the end, I will provide my details. And come over to Adjumani. I will take you to the field and you listen to testimonies from women, children, youth, young people, and say, if it was not for what you did for me, I'd be done. I remember this. I want to give you just this. I remember when I just reached and I went to the community, to the refugee camp, and I got this woman. She was among the first 10 women. And today she remains one of those that I look and say, God, thank you because you created me for a purpose, and the purpose was to save such a life. And I went to her community in the very week that she was contemplating suicide. And then I started my counseling sessions. At the end of, I think, the second week, she said, you are Jesus. I am not. She said, David, you are Jesus because you were exactly sent to save me. That was the week I wanted to just lock myself and my children inside and burn ourselves because life lost meaning. Man, whatever you are doing, wherever you are doing, there is somebody out there that needs exactly that because you are meeting a need. And it gives you satisfaction to see that actually your meeting is when you hear those testimonies. It's what drives me. It's why I sit on the laptop for trans-day and trans-night because looking for resources. It's why I beg globally. I beg because then I find my satisfaction in the life that is transformed. You know what? Knowing your purpose transforms the experience of your life from merely surviving to truly thriving. Once you know your purpose, you're not just a survivor. You're not just there to meet daily needs. You are truly a champion. you are truly destined for success, because then you know exactly what drives you. So it's important that we discover purpose because of these factors. Finally, friends, just final thoughts. Next, Josh. Final thoughts. You know what, friends? Purpose is an inward dream. It's not an outward dream. It's your inner drive to make a difference, to make a contribution. Anywhere I find myself, any space you give me to talk to you, I cannot fail to tell you about what I do with the refugees and the lives that are transformed. It is the reason I exist. I exist to just see a difference in the life of a woman who is struggling to take care of her children, to take care of her orphaned children. I live to see that orphans have hope again. That's my purpose. I have discovered that and nothing. I worked with Watoto, and that's the only place I worked because I was aligned to their dream. But then I had to move out to explore what was it that I needed to make a contribution in. Secondly, knowing your purpose is a journey. It's a journey, and it's going to have ups and downs. But people who know where they are going never give up. They never give up. Even in the midst of adversity, they are resilient. They remain persistent. Why? Because they see the ultimate goal. Passion is the key here. Passion is the key. It's what makes you discover who you are. And finally, as I repeatedly say, service matters. A true purpose often involves contributing to others. It's not about money. It's not about money. It's about making a difference in this global world. So friends, I do not know at what stage your business is. I do not know what stage you are in your business ideation. I want you to know that, is it driven by purpose? Is it driven by passion? If it is so, then go in for it. Whatever you do, go in for it and go wholesomely. There are going to be forces here and there. There are going to be forces coming against you. But man, once you understand that this is why I exist, this is why God put me in this world. I am not just here to exist and to live and to meet my daily needs. I'm not just here to post and be on Twitter and social media and celebrate birthdays. I have a reason why I exist. Then pursue it with your passion. And once you pursue it with your passion, oh man, watch your life turn around. Watch those around you experience the beauty of your existence. So that's the challenge I give you this morning, that unless you discover your purpose, whatever idea, whatever enterprise you're running, whatever business you're running, you may be bound to fail or to drop along the road when challenges come. But once you are driven by passion and purpose, then you know what? No matter the storms that come, you will keep on keeping on. I want to thank you so much for listening. And I'm sorry, Dr. Diana, for taking a bit more time, but I thought I should just be able to digest this. We will continue learning and learning from each other. But thank you again so much, Dr. Diana, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Edith, for reaching out yesterday. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. David Elungat. I'd like to appreciate you so much for finding time in your busy schedule and accept to come and talk to the entrepreneurs this morning. We appreciate you very much. Thank you so much. I don't think we could have got any other person better to talk about this topic of understanding your life purpose for business success. You've said it all. Finding a purpose is very key. It's about turning your passion into a contribution. It is important always to follow your passion. It is important to create a solution to a community where you are so that you serve people's needs I will not say much because I know everybody who logged on this morning was able to discover this. We appreciate you, even the services that you are offering, wherever your NGO is, and the refugees that you are supporting. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. I know we are running short of time, but I would like to invite Mr. Josh Karuhanga to manage Q&A. Josh, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Edith. My name is Karuhanga Joshua. I'm going to take us through Q&A, and very quickly I'll let us know how we can be able to ask our questions or give any comments we want. The first way we can do this is raise our electronic hand, and you'll be given permission to unmute and speak. Another way is to type it in the chat, and the question will be read out to the speaker. And thirdly, you can type it in the Q&A section of Zoom, and we shall read your question and direct it to the speaker this morning. Mr. Elungat, first of all, you could, I can let you know that in the chat, there's appreciation for your presentation. JP says, good that you persisted in the refugee space, having supported you in the journey. Then Bensenso says, thank you very much, David, for the lively presentation. I have learned a lot this morning. And just much more appreciation, thanking you for the presentation this morning, for inspiring us this morning. And yes, that is what is in the chat as I wait for any other questions that may come up. Maybe let me also take this opportunity to let people on this presentation this morning know that there's been a link shared in the chat to join our WhatsApp group, and also to let you know that all the recordings for our sessions are on the Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation YouTube channel. You just go on YouTube and search for the channel. Yes, there's from Anne Ruth in the chat. She says, thank you so much, Mr. David Elungat, for this wonderful presentation. Now I know I am on the right track. I am driven by my passion, reaching out to the disadvantaged. God bless you. And then a question from Shamim N, who asks, how do you get employees aligned to your company vision, in brackets purpose, or support your passion? Yes, David, you can answer that. I'm going to reshare the link in the chat as well.
Yeah, so I think it's a question of, thank you, Shamim, for asking, how do I get my employees to buy into the purpose and vision? And it's a question of everyday sharing. You know what? You must live your purpose. And once you live your purpose and your vision, then everyone around you actually gets into it, gets the DNA of it. So one, you must be able to live it yourself. Your vision, you can't just speak it without living it. Two, you must be able to speak every day, have a conversation with your team about exactly why you're doing what you're doing. And then, you know, along the way, they discover whether that is something they are passionate about. I always give an opportunity to, whenever I'm interviewing someone, to join in the team and say, if this is something that you're passionate about, and that's the word I use, because it is intentional, that this is my passion. And for us to walk this journey, you must align to it. So it's about intentionally speaking to your staff, but also you living your purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me just read one more comment from Hope Jemima Kasimbazi, who says, thank you very much. Thank you, David, for the timely life transformational presentation you have made when I was reconsidering my vision and life purpose. I am now well guided. Thank you so much, Mr. Elungat. I am also very aware that we have gone beyond the time, and I'll just urge everyone, if you still have questions, please type them in the chat. We will be passing them on to Mr. Elungat, and the responses will share them in the WhatsApp group. The link has been shared in the chat. Thank you very much, everyone. I would like to close Q&A in the interest of time and hand it back to the host this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Josh Karuhanga, for managing Q&A. And again, I would like to appreciate Mr. David Elungat for participants and also responding to their comments. People were inboxing me here and they were saying that they are discovering their purpose. They are happy they are discovering their purpose. So thank you so much for sharing this important information that you shared today. I would like to bring this to a close, but before we end, I would like to invite Madam Eunice Ninsima Walumba to make her closing remarks. Madam Eunice Ninsima is a lecturer in the Department of Entrepreneurship and Innovation in the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Management. Madam Eunice, kindly unmute and make your closing remarks.
Thank you so much, our host this morning, Dr. Edith Basalira, for inviting me to give these closing remarks. I would like to, first of all, appreciate Dr. Diana Ntamu, our director, for bringing us this speaker this morning, who has really been the right person, because he has really brought what we all need and at the right time. So friends, I want you to join me to appreciate Mr. David Elungati. Thank you so much, Mr. David, for the wonderful insights that you have shared with us. Indeed, you talked about passion and purpose. As entrepreneurs, I think passion is the fuel for entrepreneurship. And without it, we may actually quit our journey to entrepreneurship. And trust me, if you don't have passion in life, you cannot manage to run any business. Along the way, you can get hardships, and that's why we must connect it to our purpose. Most of us live without purpose. It is actually possible to die not knowing the reason why God created you. And that is what Mr. David was really talking about. So passion is not just about what we like, and it is about what disturbs us, what excites us, and what makes us wake up, keep awake at night. So it is something that we must do. And most, especially the young people these days in this generation, you find that we live not living on purpose. We don't know the reason why we live. You find that most of us wake up, we scroll through our phones, we follow the trends, we start chasing for money because we have seen other people making it in life. But deep down us, we feel we are lost. Sometimes you get lost because you cannot manage. Why? Because we lack purpose and passion in life. Okay, so it is high time that we start discovering the reasons why we live. And Mr. David has really talked about it. How can we do this? We need to be innovative. The young entrepreneurs on this call, even people who have made it, continue innovating. Continue creating, adding value to what we are doing. Continue being creative. Continue looking for solutions to the problems that we have in our communities. And that is why we shall be able to succeed. So thank you very much once again, Mr. David Elungati. We were very blessed to have you at the MOOBS Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center. We are really grateful, and we shall engage more. Thank you, and back to you, Dr. Edith.
Thank you so much, Madam Eunice Ninsima. We appreciate you for always logging on also, and we appreciate, thank you for accepting to give the closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for keeping you long here, but we are about to close, and I'd like to appreciate you so much. Allow me to add my voice to appreciate Mr. David Elungat for session this morning. Also, allow me to appreciate everybody who logged on this morning. Thank you for already starting your Thursday with us. I would like to end it here and also appreciate Mr. Ogutu Philemon, who is the sign language interpreter on the other side. Thank you very much, everybody. I would like to appreciate you and wish you a good Thursday. Best regards to everybody. Remember to log on next Thursday, same time. Bye-bye for now.
Right, thank you.
You gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you got. No, don't let them see what you're not, 'cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel. 'Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day is a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen, people will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you.